All right, guys, thanks for tuning back in. Episode 2 here. This is the truck flip. In this episode, we're going to be trying to get an inspection sticker. So 2 things that will get you more value with your car is obviously 1, if it runs and drives with no issues, and then 2 is if you can get an inspection sticker for it. So this episode, a couple of things that'll need to get done. In the first episode, you saw the tires had terrible tread wear. That's one of the first things they'll knock you for when going for an inspection. So to address that tire wear, I'll show you here in a sec. You can see the inner tread is almost nothing compared to the outer tread. And it's the same on the other side. So what that usually means is that the wheel bearings have gone bad. So the way you'll test that is lift the truck up, get the tire off the ground, and then shake from side to side, top to bottom. And if it's loose, that means that the wheel bearings are bad. I did not go cheap on these hub bearing assemblies. So this is the box for the new ones I got. When you do one, you should really do both. That's good. That's a good practice there. I know some people don't do that, especially if you're flipping a car. You might not want to do that. And I'm realizing now that I definitely spend too much money on these. There are some knockoff brands and some Chinese brands that are a lot cheaper. They will definitely not last as long. But if you're in the game of just getting a profit and don't really care about the next owner, that's the route to go. I did have some issues doing that, so that's why, that's part of the reason why we got more expensive hub bearing assemblies here. So let me open them up and show you the old ones. All right, so these things were on the truck, absolutely toasted. Clearly never been off before. And you can see that these things, they're literally, it fell apart. So when you take it off, it was probably just being held together by the rust. But so this is the one part, and then the actual bearing part itself. If I can get it out here. It's right here. So you can see it's greased up. And what you should really see is if this is a gritty process right here. It's hard to tell because it's popped off, but if this is gritty and you hear noise and it doesn't move smoothly, then you know that something's wrong. So as you can see, it's not a clean job. It's definitely messy and there's a lot of grease on here, but these things were definitely toasted. So here's the other side. They sit together like this. I can't even get it back together, but anyway, happy these are done. This will help with the tire wear. With the water pump bypass tube, I'm not going to show you specifically how to do the hub bearing assemblies. They are a pain in the butt. So there are plenty of YouTube videos on how to do it. Yes, I'll be flipping this truck. One other thing I did end up buying for this video, I'll include it at the end with the total again, is this 1 11/16" socket. So this is used to take the axle nut off. That's how you get to the hub bearing assembly. So it is necessary. This was $13 on Amazon. So yeah, these little things do add up. But in the same sentence, I will say I spent a lot of money and I splurged on this impact gun from Milwaukee. So this thing is $370. It's definitely going to eat into the profit, but if I'm going to get into this more often, this tool is going to be really valuable and I'm going to use it for a while. So I guess kind of necessary, kind of me splurging and eating into the profit, but it makes the job so much easier when taking off the tires and taking off the rusted on axle nut. I couldn't just buy this chugga and not show you how it works. This is the half-inch drive here, so I do have to have an adapter on it, but just to give you some context here, these nuts have not come off since I've owned this car, so they are on there nice and tight. They look pretty locked up. I might throw some PB Blaster on there just to not completely destroy them, but this impact driver will take them off real easy. It does have this cool feature where you can put it on this setting where it'll unscrew them, and then once it gets them off, it'll go in a slower move. So I'm gonna try that out here. We'll do it without the PB Blaster and just see what happens. They are already kind of worn, but nope. And this is why you don't buy tools from Harbor Freight. This adapter broke. That'll lead me into a whole nother tangent. I've broken so many tools that just can't put up. And yeah, they have free lifetime warranty, but the amount of time I've wasted going there to fix these tools is crazy. Take a look, that just spun off. On the end. I have broken this specific type of tool about 4 times. I stopped buying these silly ratchets. The kid at Harbor Freight was like, "What are you doing? Why is that happening?" And I asked him, "What is this made of? It seems like plastic." And he insisted on it being forged steel. Sounds like a bunch of malarkey to me, but broken this one plenty of times. And then I stopped buying the ratchet head ones and just bought the metal breaker ones without this whole part here. Broke that twice, and now I'm just done. The amount of time, gas, energy spent going to Harbor Freight, it's literally not worth it. So yeah, the lifetime warranty's sick, but it just ends up being more of a headache. Shit. Shoot. Major plot twist, this thing has a lot of issues. So I thought this was gonna be an inspection video. Let me show you guys what we're gonna be working with now. This has changed for the worse real quick. Check this out. Right, so I knew it had an exhaust manifold leak, but let me just open it up the oil filter cap right now. Hold on. All right, so we're opening this up. And people guess what you think this is, but frick, guys. I don't know if you see that. There's a ton of water in this thing. So I'm thinking, hoping, praying it is a head gasket leak. Worst case scenario, it's a crack in the cylinder. Apparently there are things that old used car dealers used to sell to fix that up. And I'm thinking that might be the case. I'll tell you why. Reason why is I've put 40 miles on this thing. And when I bought it, coolant was orange, not super bright orange, it was a dark orange, which, means it's been in there for a little bit, but it wasn't an oily mix, which it is now. So that sealant might hold for 40 miles. I'm not sure how it works, but that oil cap is pretty indicative of head gasket leak. I'll also open the radiator cap for you here just to show you, but I think the profit on this one is not going to be there or anywhere near where I expected when I bought this. So let me show you this radiator cap. Hold on. All right, so I popped the radiator cap open. It's kind of hard to see. It doesn't look that bad, but that is not orange anymore. That is a mix for sure. So I'm not sure how fast that can happen, if that means that it's a crack in the block, but yeah, we're gonna be in this thing for a lot more than what was expected. So stay tuned. All right, so we have back in the office here. Of course, we're not on AutoZone, we're on Advanced Auto Parts. I'm looking for a head gasket, just the head gasket, not the whole set, but as you can see, there are whole sets. Okay, here we go. Felpro cylinder head gasket, left, and then down here is right. They are 36 bucks a piece. It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, obviously it's not hard to tell. It's impossible to tell which one it is until you open it up. I'm sure there's people who have certain tests, but I'm not gonna know how to do that. So, all right, it looks like 70 bucks in here, if that is the route we end up going. It says you need nude head bolts. Not gonna be doing that, but this is probably just gonna be like an 8-hour labor job. Open it up, get the head off, make sure everything's disconnected, put these in, put it back together, and see if it is a leak or if it was just the head gasket. Ideally it'd just be this, but there's a chance there's a hairline crack or a block, or crack in the block, but we won't know until we get into it. All right, guys, thanks for watching this episode. I appreciate you bearing with me. I know that these are all over the place. I think that's just the nature of what these videos are going to be, getting into these trucks, not knowing exactly what's wrong, and jumping from project to project within the truck. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. In the next video, hopefully we'll jump into that head gasket and things won't be too catastrophic, and it will be something that I can fix on my own with just a lot of labor hours. So let's roll the expenses right now, the total, so we can keep track of that, and I'll see you guys in the next one.